Okay. All right. So I think we have to continue because the class is recorded, right? Okay. So what we want to do today is to learn one of the most important aspects in passing case study exam, which is how to read and understand cases. And over the years, one of the key issues, one of the main problems that students face is their inability to read and understand the case they are about to solve. Of course, if you find it difficult to understand the problem you are meant to solve, that means you have about 200 more. I mean, you have the problem becomes more complicated, right? But if by any chance you are able within a very short time to read and understand the case presented before you, that means there is about 70% chance for you to solve the case very well. So what we are going to do is that we are going to be we are going to be reading the case, and I'm not the one that will read it, right? So here is the thing: one of you will read, say exhibit one here, right? We are going to start from exhibit one here. So this is the unseen. This is the unseen that will be given to you before the exam. I mean, sorry, pre-seen. Pre-seen, this is how it will look. Pre-seen that will be given to you before the exam, right? And for this case now, we have about 6 exhibits. Okay, so we are going to be reading it exhibit by exhibit. So for instance, someone from the class will read exhibit one. Okay, while the person is reading, I would like every one of you to take note of what the person is reading. So once the person is done reading, then I will ask you to make your contribution. I mean, tell us what you understand about that particular exhibit. So I believe your contribution should be meaningful, should add to the understanding of the case. I mean, should give us new information, should point to a new idea. I mean, I don't want someone to reread what has been read, right? I want someone to make meaningful comments that will lead to new understanding, new meaning. Okay, and that is what we are going to be doing. So I think we can get started. So who will read for us first? So once you all make your comment, then I come in, I make my own comment too. That's how it will go. All right. Who is reading now? I know you have the files, oh, right?
Yes, sir, we have them.
All right. Oh, yeah, let's go now. Let's go. There's no time. There's no time. Okay, go on and read. Prosper.
Sir, should I read from your screen?
You can read from my screen. You can read from your side as well.
Okay, exhibit one. About you, Shukura, Ali, and your employer. I cannot pronounce Yoruba names very well. Ibrahim. Okay, you are Shukura Ali, writing the professional level of ICANN examination. You are working in the Lagos office of Oluwole Ibrahim Ezeife and Co. Chartered Accountants, which has its office, which has its offices in all the state capitals of the country. You are reporting to James Oluwole, the partner in charge of the business advisory units of the firm. Your responsibilities include: one, preparing detailed financial analysis and reports on the performance of your business advisory clients. 2, analyzing your client's financial statements to identify areas of weakness and preferring solutions to correct the anomalies. 3, assessing operational and strategic business proposals submitted by clients to see how each aligns with the client's objective and its impact on its business and financial risk. 4, assessing clients' financial and business forecasts together with the assumptions upon which they are based to form judgments and recommendations to your partner. And finally, excuse me, drafting reports to be submitted to clients on the result of clients' financial, operational, and strategic business analysis you have carried out. Your responsibilities demand that you keep yourself abreast of your clients' industries and external operating environment so as to be able to carry out the above tasks effectively.
Thank you, Prosper Amanka. All right, so that is a typical exhibit one in case study. So that is it, and the next thing is for you to make your contributions. Who is going first? All right. So yeah, now let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. You have to contribute. That's what this class is about. That's what will make you to understand how to read. You have to contribute. Except you want me to summarize the case for you and you don't know how to read it and understand it. But that's not the purpose of this class.
So I think the exhibit sounds more like the requirements, like what the accountant is supposed to do for the business.
Okay, so that's what you can just pick out from the exhibit, right? We have lots of information included in that exhibit. I mean, you can pick from anything, each of these responsibilities means something. So you can pick one and tell us what you understand about it. That's what we are doing. And remember I discussed about how to do more like a critical analysis um, of a thing that you do. You identify, you explain, then you recommend. Maybe there's no need for recommendation now, but I expect us to use that skill here now. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, who is going? Who is going? Who is going? Don't make this class to be boring now. Zena and Victor, you can unmute yourself now and make contribution. Hello.
Number one, the responsibility one says prepare detailed financial analysis and reports on the performance of your business advisory clients. So
Okay.
it's more like, from what you taught us the last class, it's more like using financial ratios, right, to analyze the performance of the business, and then you write a report based on the outcome of the ratios used in the analysis to the management.
Okay, I will take that. I will take that. That's a very good contribution. I will take that. Victor, what are you doing? No, all right. So I can see you are not ready to participate. All right. So I will go on and explain to you. But what you should note is that I've fulfilled all righteousness now. Okay. So it is left to you to learn that process. Of course, I can go on to summarize the whole case in less than 2 minutes. It doesn't take me anything, right? So, all right. So, like I said, we are going to be getting something like this before the exam, maybe 2 weeks to the exam. A present like this will be given to us. Okay, and the purpose is for you to, the reading time is just 1 hour. The reading time is 1 hour, and the 1 hour in reality might not be enough for you to read and understand and comprehend the case in order to make meaningful contribution, right? So that is why we'll be given the pre-scene, more like 30% out of the whole exhibit, right? Then maybe 30%. Now it will be like 30%. Before now, it was more like about 50% of the whole exhibit in the case. All right. So we'll be given that. So the purpose is for you to understand this part of the case. Yes, maybe you do some kind of little analysis, maybe research. In fact, over the years, we have seen scenarios whereby students were able to dig out the actual complaint involved in that case. Okay, so it gives us the ample time to make research, to do some analysis, and in particular to understand the the pre-same part of the case. That is what I gave about 30% part of the case. So the reading time, the 1 hour reading time on the exam day, you should just focus on the unseen. Of course, nothing will change again on the present. So you focus on the unseen. Then after reading the unseen, maybe twice, then I'm very sure you would have gotten the whole idea, the whole gist about the case. Then you can read together once more. The whole of this should not take you more than 30 minutes. So you will save about 30 minutes instead of using 1 hour to read. All right, so you will see that this exhibit is about you in the exam, you as a person in the exam. And who is your employer? Your employer is a firm of chartered accountant. And if you can relate this to some discussions we have had, I told you that maybe yes, there are two types of reports. We have the internal and the external report, and I told you that for internal report, it will mean that you are working for a company, you are the accountant, maybe a junior accountant in a company. So whatever report you will do in that company remains in that company, won't go anywhere. But so far you are working with a firm of chartered accountant and you'll be assigned a client, it means in that case alone, from here alone, you would have known whether the report is internal or external report. In this case, this is a typical external report because the firm will produce the report, we do the report and send to the client eventually. And why is that important in case study? Yes, the simple answer is that so far it is an external report. There will be a need for you to include disclaimer in your report. And disclaimer alone is 1 mark in the exam. Of course, we cannot overemphasize the importance of 1 mark in case study exam because the marks will be gotten in bits and pieces, like 1 marks and here and there. And someone is scoring 49 already, the 1 mark can be a savior to that person, right? So external report, there's need for disclaimer. Then they mention that you have the following responsibilities. The first one says that you will do financial analysis to report on the performance of your business, of your business advisory client. This means that I mean, if someone is thinking very far, it means that one of the two requirements, one of the two requirements in this exam, in this particular diet, by this time that the students are reading the present, they already know the one of the requirements they will be answering in the exam. And that is what this particular statement is telling you. Okay, you already know. Of course, you know that there are three analytical scales. So you have identified one already. You have identified one to be financial statement analytical scale will be tested in the case. They now went ahead to say that this analysis that you will be doing, fine, you will focus on the performance, right? But while focusing on performance, your job is to identify areas of weaknesses. So the areas of weakness. What are those areas of weakness? Of course, I know many of you, your mind will be going to SWOT analysis. Or now, when we talk about weakness, it could mean when the ratios are poor, when the ratios are declining. That is a weakness. Okay, and you prefer solution to correct the anomaly. That is fine. This is still talking about this is in addition to the financial statement analytical scale. Now here is the thing that interests me most: assessing operational and strategic business proposals submitted by clients to see how each aligns with client objectives, its impact on business and financial risk, right? I know we have discussed about operational and strategic analytical scale. We discussed about it. Yes. But here is the thing. This and you know operational and strategic analytical scale is business analysis. Okay? So many students thought in this dive, many students thought they were to do business analysis. But when I saw business proposals, I knew this is more than business analysis. So here is the thing. Business proposals could come in form of the director deciding to go into a particular investment. It could be that they are proposing to establish a new to go into a takeover, a major takeover, a major merger, all proposal. Maybe they want to have a new branch somewhere. These are all examples of proposal. And when there are proposals, it means there will be investment for us to appraise. Simple. So this in the right sense means that point to the direction that there will likely be an investment appraiser, which points to one of the remaining two analytical scale, which is financial data analytical scale. What I'm saying is that from these 3 points now, we have identified that we might be doing what financial statement analysis and financial data analysis. Assessing client forecast together with that, fine. Then drafting reports, fine. Those are just little things. So that is that about the exhibit one. Okay, so you can see that right from the exhibit one, you can begin to picture the direction the case could be going. We can begin to picture the direction the case could be going. All right. So I know many of you. I don't know why you don't want to participate. So we have to do the. We have to do the. What do you call it? Summary. So here is exhibit two. Exhibit two is about agribusiness. Agribusiness in Nigeria, the constraints and opportunities. Okay, so here they talk about uh you know, particularly about this is industry specific information. This is the information, and this information given to us is talking about, you know, the reason why the business is lucrative in Nigeria. They talk about population. Nigeria have over 200 million people. You know, there is affordable labor, and there is market for products. You know, it means that when the players in this industry, when they get their produce ready, there is ready made market to buy it. There's also government support. If you could remember, the Buhari administration gave a massive support to this industry. There is arable land. there is growth potential, there is financing opportunity because government, there are grants here and there are support here and there for players in that sector. So we could be thinking about the fact that if, give me 1 second please. So this means that if our client is operating in this particular sector, it means all of these things will also have impact on the what? On our client. That is what it means, right? That is what it means. Okay. In fact, let me give you an example. If we see that the revenue of our clients is growing, maybe profit is growing, it could be linked back to this population. This population could be used to explain it. This is why they are selling, this is why they are making profit. People are buying it. People are demanding for it. There is support. Maybe if they are getting some kind of support, they are able to do this and that. Yes. If their produce is, is better, is always coming out fine, yes, we can explain it with this. You know, if they have access to financing, we can explain it with this. Then they also talk about certain opportunities, right? They mention rice farming, poultry farming, tomato, cassava. And the good thing is that possibly if our potential client is not into this, uh is not having this produce already, we can advise them because they said there are opportunities, they yield very fine, they are, they are profitable and all that, right? They also have their weaknesses like tomatoes now. You need so much to get it, uh you know uh you know to get it to the market, and to prepare it for market, right? And cassava farming, they are all opportunities that we could advise our client to take advantage of. Then they talk about challenges facing the agribusiness in Nigeria. They mention post-harvest loss. Yes, that is expected. So it could mean that if there are issues, if there are losses, we could attribute it to this post-harvest loss. Someone can also say that the examiner excuse me please, the examiner is already giving hints to the student on possible issues that the client could be facing in that industry. Attitude of the people, people are not really focusing into agriculture. Then there is issue of climate change, right? These are all factors or issues, having negative impact on the business. Then they mention the future of agribusiness in Nigeria. So that is industry information. Okay. Okay. Then this is SB3. SB3 is talking about Detroit Farms and Farm Products Limited, history, operations, and board management. Hopefully, maybe this Detroit Farms will be our yes, it is our client, right? So they talk about the client, how the business started, the year it started, who started the business. They mentioned about the product the client is into already. They mentioned cattle ranch, poultry farming, fishery, and veggies, right? Of course, he's not having no cassava at the moment, no rice farming at the moment, and all that. Maybe there could be a need for us to to and they said that the company is growing steadily and has become a household name among elites. Okay, okay, so that is understandable. It means the company is growing and it might be in profit, right? All right. They mentioned the board management. This is the board, and they also mentioned the management team as separate from the board. Right. This is good. This is good. Okay. All right. So exhibit 4 here is about Detroit Farms and Farm Product Limited and business opportunities before them. So they said the first opportunity is from a contract with retail shop. Now, retail shop is, in this case, looks more like Adide. What's your other company that sell variety of things in their shops, right? So the shop beer is more like Adide. It sells virtually everything. You buy clothes, food items, everything you could think of or you need can be gotten from their shops. And it has stores. It has various stores, just like I said, just like Adide in Lagos here. It has various stores in major cities of Lagos, Ibadan, and Abeokuta, all within 50 kilometers of Detroit Farms. It means this shop is even very close to Detroit Farms, and they are coming with a proposal. This shop retains virtually everything. Yes, we have said that. And they believe that um, now, Bishop has contacted Detroit Farms through its marketing department for a business relationship. They are willing to enter a long-term contract with Detroit Farm so that they can supply them fresh farm products, such as all this that the Detroit Farms is currently doing. Meanwhile, they mentioned that this product, Bishop is currently getting them from South Africa. That this product that Bishop is coming to get from Detroit Farms is currently importing them from South Africa. Now, if this contract sails through, Detroit Farm will be supplying Bishop with this product, right? And it will be packed and all that. They mentioned something again, that if Detroit Farm accepts the contract, it will necessitate Detroit Farm installing an integrated meat processing plant on the farm to be able to meet up with specification from Bishop. Of course, incidentally, this is in line with Detroit Farm's strategic plan for the coming year. This is what it means. If Detroit Farms accept the proposal from Bishop, they will have to install a meat processing plant. Now, what that means is that we might likely be appraising a plant, right? And remember, in that exhibit one, they gave us an hint about proposal, and I said proposal could come in form of any investment and all that. So this is another hint to show that we might be right, though. Then they now talked about installing the integrated meat processing plant. This is the second proposal. So, in view of the various inquiries, so customers have been inquiring from Detroit Farms earlier that yes, you people should start defeathering, preparing your meat, packaging it in kilograms and all that, which means that they will need the meat processing plant to do that. So they have currently agreed, and they said that the farm currently has portion of farmland that could be used for this project. However, the farm would have to construct a new structure to house the plant and procure the following. So these are the things that they will procure: meat processing machinery, equipment, motor vehicles. So these are the things that they will have to procure in order to get the meat processing plant installed. That is Exhibit 4. Now, here is Exhibit 5. Exhibit 5 is the financial statement. And one thing we do, we always read financial statement too. We have done it in the physical class. And what it means is that the first step in financial analysis is for you to study, to look at the financial statement before you and try to identify one or two things that might be wrong with it. You can see that revenue is fine, it's growing, and the cost of sales is also growing. Year on year, there is okay, there is gross profit. We can't really say if the gross profit is low or not, right? But if you look at the profit after tax, it's really low because looking at the you have about 90 million, of revenue, only 3 million of only 3 million of profit. The which just suggests that expenses have taken away most of the revenue. you know uh, you know that might suggest that there is something wrong with the expenses. And if you look at the cost of sales, we might say that the cost of sales might be high. We can't say it yet, but we need to do maybe a trend analysis or common size analysis to know what percentage of the revenue the cost of sales is taking, and what percentage of the revenue the operating and selling, the selling and administrative expenses is also taking, so that we can know whether they're having a cost control issue. Okay, we can also look at the financial position, the statement of financial position, to look at what could be wrong with it. The asset is declining, the non-current assets declined. What could be wrong with it? Possibly, maybe there's a disposal, maybe it could be depreciation or so. Then, if you look at the current asset, you see that inventory is growing, and trade receivable is growing. Okay, receivable and inventory, they are growing. This could suggest that uh, um, you know, you know, uh, the, they are producing. Why they are producing, they are still having some unsold on the farm. Okay, which means that they will be tying down cash. That is what it suggests. And even as the trade receivable is growing too, it means that they are selling on credit, which is also tying down cash. This could suggest a possible liquidity issue for them. Okay, then well, this is okay. I think it's okay. Retained earnings is okay, growing and all that. Then current liability decline, trade and other payables decline, right? Well, this is we may argue that if trade payable decline, we don't know if it is high or not, but because it declined, it means it declined slightly, right? I think slightly. So they are paying. They might be struggling to pay. And another thing is they are taking overdraft, though decreasing. So this could mean that they don't really have cash. They have to go to the bank to get overdraft to pay to settle their payables, right? So in fact, that may mean that there is possible liquidity issue. We can't say yet until we know what we are asked to do, to know the ratios we are asked to compute. So that is, so we have the notes to the account too, right? We have notes to the account. Then we can go to Exhibit 6. This Exhibit 6 is about a press article, you know, given by Oshimbajo in September 2019, right? And it's a real press article. So it's about the promises of government, the impact government has been making, and some other financial institutions on agriculture, how they have contributed to agriculture, how they have supported the agribusiness. So the that is what the press article is all about, right? Then on the exam day, they got the unseen. They got the unseen. It came with six more exhibits, right? So that means they had 50% part of the case before the exam and 50% on the exam day, making 100%. So let's see the exhibit 7. Exhibit 7. This exhibit is from James Oluwole to Shukura Ali. James Oluwole is your supervisor, and he said that he is talking about the job. The request they received from the client, and you can see this email is on 6th of November 2019, and he specifically said that You have to carry out a detailed analysis of management account and prepare a report for DFFP's board. You're also required to carry out an evaluation on process of the business proposals and recommend appropriate course of actions to be taken by DFFP. Please draft from my review a report addressed to the board of DFFP. The report should comprise a review of DFFP management accounts for the year ended 2019 as presented in this exhibit. Your review your review should comprise of analysis of the key changes in revenue, key changes in cost, and key changes in overhead across its revenue streams in comparison with previous 2 years. Okay, you should evaluate the impact of these changes on DFFP's operating profit. In addition, please comment on the reasons for DFFP's bank overdraft at the end of each year despite huge profit. Then, as two, an assessment of contract supply service, assessment of contract supply as contained in Exhibit 10 and 11. You are required to critically evaluate the proposed strategic business opportunity, that is the installation of meat processing plant by David as contained in Exhibit 12, and discuss broader commercial and ethical consideration as well as the risk that may be associated with accepting or venturing into these business proposals. Now, this exhibit 7 is typically the requirement in the exam. Remember, I've been talking about the requirement and all that. And what you will notice is that the requirement does not come with one title that this is the requirement for the exam. And because the reason why I'm saying that, I've seen a student said, I've read and read and read the case, I did not see the requirement. That's why the fact that this is the what this is the requirement. So you have to be able to identify the requirement, and you can see that the requirement is detailing the actual thing you are to do in the case, your responsibility. And you see that this first responsibility, this first requirement, is the same as the first responsibility they gave to us in exhibit 1. And this second requirement is about you to assess the contract supply service. Contract supply service. Possibly the contract supply service they talked about, you know, coming from Bishop. And they also said that after that, you are to critically evaluate what the installation of meat processing was planned. This means that this exhibit 2 is asking us to do two different things under one exhibit. We have to do two different things, right? So you need to be watchful of that. So recently, they've been they've been doing this. Please give me 1 minute. Sorry, some kids are running around and disturbing me. All right, so here is exhibit 8. This exhibit 8 is from, yes, this person who is working with Detroit Farms. Uh, you know, you know, to James Oluwole, right? Detroit Farms and Farm Products Limited. Now, this person is sending this mail. Okay, I think there's a mix up here. This is supposed to be coming from Bishop, right? Bishop. Okay, sorry. It's coming from Detroit Farms to your boss, right? Coming from Detroit Farms to your boss. Yes, it's correct. So this is a conversation between your boss and your client about what you should do in the case. So if you read it, you see that it's exactly as this. This is what it's saying. Okay. The reason why I had to point this out is that if you look at this, you see that this is November 4, why this is November 6. it means that they had this conversation earlier, but they are now presenting this first before the earlier conversation. I mean, that that confirms the idea that presentation of cases are not logical. They can, they can just distort it so that you get confused along the line. So exhibit 8 is the same as exhibit 7, right? This is exhibit 9. The financial statement for the third year. They ask us to look at 3 years, and so we can also look at it again and look and complete it with the other one. Now here is exhibit 10. Exhibit 10 is from this person who is working from D-Shop. Remember, D-Shop is coming with a proposal, right? So they sent it to Detroit Farms and they shared it with you. He said, this is further to the meeting we had in my office yesterday. I'm sending this mail to you to recap our discussion. Bishop would like to enter into a supply contract with Detroit Farms on the following terms. These are the terms of the contract. Remember, under SCB 2, under requirement 2, they talked about the fact that you should look at this SCB 10 because that is the contract they want you to evaluate. Evaluate it to see whether it is okay for them to accept or not. So the first term, the first term says that Detroit Farms will produce this following for Bishop, poultry, all of those things that they are currently producing, right? Okay, that is good. They now said that the above will be packaged according to specification to be supplied by Bishop. The above will be packaged according to specification supplied by Bishop. Detroit Farms will not put any label on the packages, as Bishop will label the packages itself. This is because Bishop does not want its customers to know that these products are locally produced. Bishop will carry out a regular inspection of Detroit Farms and its facility to ensure the farm is following international best practices. Bishop will determine the type of fertilizer to be used. Bishop will settle Detroit Farms on a monthly basis. Detroit Farms will always evacuate any vegetable and meat unsold at the end of every week from Bishop and supply fresh ones. Bishop is not bothered about pricing. It believes that it can get its customers to accept given prices. Please let me know your management reaction to the above terms in good time. As Bishop is ready to 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 firm up this contract as soon as possible. So here's the contract details, right? And unfortunately, what I intended is that I want you to contribute so that you really have a good understanding of what is going on here. So these are the terms, and I don't feel happy to explain everything, right? Because I really want you to contribute so that we can have a wide range of interpretations. And as individual, you have your own interpretation, which will build up on what you will write in your report. Because you will write a report for me on this. I've written the report, but I want you to write your own report on it. Okay. So, so I can only identify some issues. They said that yes, here they don't want Detroit Farms to package it. They should just maybe just wrap it in a plain nylon and they will put the label on it. And the reason why they want to put the label on it is they don't want their customer to know that the product are locally produced because now, before now, this shop normally source this product from South Africa. So they still want their customers to believe that they still get it from South Africa. You know, whether that is a good business dealing or not, yeah, you might start thinking about that. Then this fine regular inspection, I think that is okay. They will determine the type of fertilizer to be used on the farm. You know, this might be an issue to your client, Detroit Farms, because they might just suggest a fertilizer that is being used in South Africa, which might not work well for the soil in Nigeria and might not yield better results for them. So who bear the loss? So the reason why you have this contract proposal is they want you to look at it, identify those terms that are bad that they should not accept, right? So that is the essence. So your job is to identify those terms that are not okay for them and all that. And they said they will settle them on a monthly basis. Meanwhile, meanwhile, Detox Farm will always evacuate any vegetable and meat unsold at the end of every week. So let's assume Adide now. This is what these people are saying, that Adide is saying that all their farmers that are supplying them at the end of every week, they will come and pack everything they did not sell and they will take it away. Why? Why? And who bear the cost of the unsold product? And remember, they also said that they are not bothered. This shop is not bothered about pricing, as I believe that can get it because we are selling a price. So, with the little knowledge of economics, if prices are too much, demand will be low. So if they don't care about pricing, it will affect this unsold product, and they ask us to come and carry it. Why now? This does not make sense, right? And that is your job to identify. All right, this is exhibit 11, and this exhibit 11 is Little Farms product reaction to the contract terms. They said that after due consideration, they have agreed to the terms of the contract, but we follow the following part. Detail Farms we add additional 25% markup to it, normal markup for all the sales to this shop. This will take care of the unsold things that they will go and pack at the end of every week. They also said that Detail Farm will package all returned vegetables and meats from this shop and sell them to their regular customer as though they are to be fresh farm work product. Now, this 25% is saying that fine, if you come and pack it, if we come to pack it, we will just have 25% markup. The question becomes, how sure are you, because of these prices, these things will not be too much, and how sure are you the 25% will take care of the total cost of the unsold product? Right? Am I making sense? Maybe yes or not. Then they said that they will also sell this. They will also sell this as though, yes, this is unethical business practice. This is unethical business practice. I might not be good for this shop. Okay. So exhibit 12, here is the last exhibit. It's about the integrated means processing plant. They gave us the cost, the working capital, revenue projection, you know, and they gave us the cost of capital and the years of the uh, of the project and receive value. Okay, so that is that about the 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 case. Any question on the case? Any question, please? Any question? Am I just talking to myself?
No question, sir.
No question. Okay. All right. Give me a few. Give me a few minutes. I want to share my screen again. Coming. Okay. Where are you? 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 Give me some minutes, please. Okay, so before I go on to last week, I explained how what I did basically was to explain, like, we have identified two analytical skills for this case, for example, and and I've explained how you are to write under these three analytical skills if given in the exam. So before I go on to demonstrate the step-by-step process of solving the case, I want to show you, I want to give you the template for report writing, the template and the process for report writing. That's what I want to give you. Where's this file? Coming. Why? Why now? Why is this thing doing like this? Okay. What is this? Okay. Okay. Let me reshare my screen. Let me reshare. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can.
Oh, all right. That's good. So now I want to show you the the how to the steps in writing your report, and to basically show you how to start the report writing process, what and what to do at what stage of the report writing or the other. Okay, so one thing about this report is um, we have two types of reports, right? The internal report and the external report. One good thing about this technique is the two types of reports are the same, right? And the only difference, the only difference is just the only difference is just the disclaimer that you put on the external report, which is 1 mark. Okay, that's the only thing, right? The only difference is uh, the the disclaimer. Okay, so let's go right to a very good example or a skeletal format for the report. So the report will take, we have a cover page. It will have a cover page. On the cover page, you address the report to someone or a group of people. Then you have the title of the report here. Then who prepared the report. And if it is external report, you put disclaimer. If not, there's no need for disclaimer. Then the next page we have will be the executive summary. Remember, we discussed the executive summary and we said that there are basically 5 things to be done. The first one is the introduction, where you include the purpose of the report, summary of the two requirements, you state assumptions and your reservations. Then summary of requirement one conclusion, summary of requirement one recommendations, summary of requirement two conclusions, and summary of requirement two recommendations. And the third thing is the introduction. Introduction, you have the types of reference, aims and objective of the report, scope and notation, maybe and then an outline of the report, an outline or table of contents, an outline or table of content, and a a background of the business, a background of the business. So the idea behind the background of the business is, you know, okay, I didn't say this earlier. Before November 2019, the ICANN never suggested any report format. So students normally write reports anyhow they like it. And I did it myself, I failed, right? So they thought it is better for them to have a general format that student can adopt. And that was when they came up with this format. And they said that under the introduction, you should include the background of the business where you talk about the business very just put little information you have about the business there. And remember that under the SCB 3, we're given detailed background of the business. So here we put the background of the business. And the fourth thing is the body of the report. Under the body of the report, we have the section 1 and section 2. And the fifth thing is the appendices, or the fifth part is the appendices, and where we have the appendix 1 and appendix 2. So let's go on to look at this. Excuse me, please. Let's go on to look at this report format in detail. So I've put this report format in 5 steps. I put it in 5 steps. Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.